What's up, guys? Back in the garage for a little how-to build video, kind of maintenance. So last time we were out, we had a carrier bearing in the RZR go. So we'll haul that out. I took out the U-joints as well. It's kind of a common issue with these RZRs. The stock carrier bearings, like a steady bearing or a cush bearing. Not really that great for if you run hard. They're all right, you know, if you just putt the trails and stuff. But we run our gear hard. I have no complaints with my machine. You know, with stuff that's broken, it's all been because of me just running it hard. So yeah, so we're gonna switch that out today. Also, last year, maybe around this time, I can't quite remember, but Cody's secondary clutch went on a run we were on, and I towed him out.
There you go.
With the snow conditions and how we were trying to get him out, kind of like balls to the walls at the end of the day, it definitely took a few years off my clutch life. And this year I'm really noticing it. It's having a few issues just with low RPM, and you can kind of tell that the clutch is worn in some ways that it really shouldn't be. So with that being said, so we're gonna go with a new primary, new secondary, new belt, and as well as Super ATV prop shaft kit with their billet carrier bearing, which is pretty cool. I'll show you guys that in a second here. So yeah, here's the new gear. So we got nice secondary and primary here from Mother Clutches. They were definitely one of the better price points for these RZRs. You know, it's really good quality, really good customer service. I was kind of back and forth with Buddy there who runs it, Harvey's Off-Road or something. Sorry if I got that wrong. But yeah, so the biggest difference for these for sure is the secondary. So on the stock RZR clutches, this slider for your helix is actually square. So what happens is these walls right here get super worn down, and then it actually creates a groove from the slider. Not really a good setup, but OEM is always about the cheapest for mass production, and sometimes these little things slip, you know, the engineers' minds when they're coming up with this stuff. But when you look online, a lot of these aftermarket clutches will come with the round rollers. And then my primary, I grabbed a new primary as well. The only reason for that is I could probably rebuild the one that I have, but I'm not too familiar with this whole setup yet. This is quite new to me. I have an understanding of how it works, but just in terms of messing with weights and springs and stuff, I definitely have to learn a little bit more with it. But my primary clutch actually there's I believe a groove on the slider. So what happens is when I come down off throttle, I'm actually having the primary is sticking. So we're gonna swap that out. I also got a new Gates belt as well. Picked that up this morning from RPM Cycle. Shout outs to them. They always come through with whatever you need, and really good customer service over there. And the guys are really knowledgeable. So if you're in Halifax, they're in Dartmouth, but if you're in Halifax or Nova Scotia, anywhere, definitely reach out to them if you're looking for anything. They sell enduro bikes. They have a lot of used bikes in their showroom, and then also they can get parts, and they have a mechanic shop. So definitely check them out. This is also going to be something we're putting in today. So this is the billet carrier bearing from Super ATV. Really nice setup, actually. I wasn't even aware. Like, I bought it. I bought the carrier bearing. I needed it anyway, but this showed up with it, which is actually a really cool setup. So this is a remote fitting for your grease gun, so you don't have to tear apart your interior, the console, every time you want to, go out and pump, put a few pumps in it. This will actually drill a hole in the console, and this will clamp right in, and it's super accessible. So that is a really, really cool feature. And I also went with the Rhino drive prop shafts, so the rear as well as the front. And these are probably going to solve my issues with the drive shaft stuff. So yeah, so this is the game plan for today, so bear with me. We're gonna try and get this stuff put in. I'm probably gonna go with the drive shaft first, only because I think it's gonna be a little bit trickier. I spent last night these, you can see here actually, you can see how that drive shaft's cooked. But yeah, so I would definitely recommend anybody with a Razor, if you have any of the Razor 900 or XP versions of this machine. I think the Rangers and the Generals are the same as well. If you do any kind of heavy running, or lugging heavy gear or doing yard work, I'd really recommend the better carrier bearing. The reason why, like I said earlier, is when mine went, it actually, because it went so bad, it took out the U-joints as well. So, there's 3 or 4 along this prop shaft that need to be replaced. So it's just one of those things. It's kind of a hindrance if it goes, because then you got way more stuff to replace, and yeah. And I saved everybody the trouble of watching me struggle with the roll pin last night. There's a roll pin that goes in the front pinion, holds on the front yoke of the front prop shaft, and they are the worst things to get out. Really, I don't know, personally I think it's a really crappy setup. The one big thing of my opinion is, to get it out, you have to really smash on your pinion. So you're kind of taking life out of your pinion bearing and the pinion seal. I even had a little bit of oil come out of my seal just from knocking it out. So not really happy with that setup. Gonna try and look at a couple options once I get it in. It did come with a new roll pin that looks like it might be a little bit easier to get in and out. But yeah, and don't mind the mess. This thing kind of left me hanging last time we were out, so just not really, didn't have time to clean it. And once I got going on it last night, I didn't want to have to load it back into the truck and take it to the rubber ducky, because we got hit really hard yesterday. So definitely going to try and get this thing ready today, because might be able to get it out tomorrow and go do some sending for you guys. So yeah, let's get into it.
Oh shit.
Who's that dead?
That's it, she just popped right out.
Look at this.
Wow.
Probably shouldn't do that.
Yay! Woo! Hold on, I got one. Let me grab the other.
No, you can go throw that.
Oh shit. what are you installing now?
I'm installing the new carrier bearing and mount. And so we got the drive shafts clocked, and they're good to go. They're both on now. We just did the roll pin for the front. Wasn't too bad, but still, you're beating the shit out of your front diff. I don't like, but so now we're getting everything on here for the main carrier bearing tightened down. And
So that grease fitting, that line right there, is it secured to anything? Like?
yeah,
Yeah? Does it come out the top?
it's a remote line for your Zerk fitting.
Yeah.
So you drill a hole.
Ah,
put it
that's
wherever
what
you
I was
want.
wondering, yeah.
Actually doesn't look too bad.
I was gonna say, it looks okay.
It was a good one. I think it was a Gates. It was a G-Force. So.
Oh, here she is. Oh shit, there we go.
Alright. Ready to put her down and torque that. And
And what?
then take it for a test drive, I think.
Here you go, got all your stuff done.
There you go. We just put a new clutch, new drive shafts in. She's ready to rip. See you in the next video. Peace out.
Watch me